stepping up our preps this week with some bulk buys. Hey guys, it's Jara with Wicked Prepared. Welcome back everyone. If it's your first time here and you're interested in prepping or self-sufficiency or food storage and preservation, then we would love to have you as a subscriber. So go ahead and subscribe and make sure you have your notifications turned on so you will be notified of all of our upcoming videos. Today I'm sharing another prepper pantry haul with you. Now whether you call it a stock up or a payday prep or a pantry haul, it's so important now more than ever to make sure that we have a good supply of those things that we need and use in our everyday life, in case there comes such a time that we're unable to get those things in the traditional manner for any period of time, or even such a day that we're just unable to afford those things that we need. Now, this is September when I'm recording this, and September is National Preparedness Month. So it's a great time to get started on your preparedness journey if you haven't already. It's never too late to get started. It's also a good time to broach that subject with family members or friends who maybe haven't come around just yet to the importance of preparedness, or maybe they don't know how to get started, or they just don't want to think about and face the scarier issues that we're all facing these days. So they're a head in the sand type, as I call it. Help them to understand the importance of having, at the bare minimum, a few weeks worth of food and water stored and some basic emergency supplies. Because what is one of the biggest fears of preppers? What's one of the biggest challenges that they face? Keeping their preps safe and secure from folks who might try to loot and pillage and steal them. Now, who would do such a thing? People who are desperate. They do it because they're desperate. And why are they desperate? They're desperate because they don't have the things they need. They're starving. Their family are starving. Their children are starving. So if we can teach people the importance of being prepared and how to be prepared, we eliminate a lot of that threat. You can turn enemies into allies. Remember that. So on to our haul today. Today's haul is mostly from Sam's Club and a little bit from BJ's, which is our other warehouse club. Now you may know I don't get to shop the warehouse clubs very often. We just don't have any super near us. Sam's Club is an hour away and the closest one, BJ's, is half an hour away. Now we did just get some exciting news. We are finally getting a Costco here in Maine. It got final approval and it will be the first Costco in the whole state. It's funny the things you get excited about when you live out in the sticks. This Costco is also going to be about an hour away from us, so although I'm excited to check it out, I am questioning whether it will be worth it for us to get a membership. We already have memberships to Sam's and BJ's, and we probably won't get a chance to shop there more than a few times a year. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Will it be worth it to us to have a Costco membership? Also, put it down in the comments if you know any secrets for getting a better deal on the membership. I know sometimes there are deals on Groupon or Ibotta and places like that. So fill me in on all the secrets. So anyhow, we had to be in town for a separate errand, so I jumped on the chance to run into Sam's Club. But I always compare prices wherever and whenever I'm shopping. Your smartphone is a great tool for this. With all the store apps and Amazon and all the places to shop right on your phone, I can easily check and see if I'm getting the best deal on something or if there's a better deal somewhere else. I did find a few things that were a better deal at BJ's, so on the way home we did hit BJ's for those items. Now this isn't one of those huge thousands of dollars worth hauls that some people do. To be honest, I just can't afford to spend that much all at once. But that's an important point too. Your prepping and your stockpiling has to be at your own pace. Don't judge it by what anyone else is doing. If all you can afford is 2 cans of food a week or whatever it may be, that's fine. Just do what you can and you'll be surprised at how quickly it will add up. All right, let's see what I grabbed at Sam's and BJ's for our prepper pantry. All right, quick overview of what we got at Sam's. Okay, we'll start over here. Now these containers that I grabbed, this is a stack of 5 containers. It says document boxes, but I thought these would be great for organizing some of our medical and first aid supplies. You guys know that I've been going through our prepper pantry and all the places that we store things, and I'm organizing and straightening things out. It's been a long process. I can't wait for this to be done so I can give you guys a tour. But I do have some containers that I like for a lot of our first aid and medical supplies, but I'm not able to get those containers anymore. So I thought these would be really great. They're shallow, so you don't have to dig through a bunch of stuff to find what you're looking for. They stack really well. They have nice square corners, and I really like that in storage containers. And then I just grabbed a couple cases of these 45 packs of water bottles. We try to keep quite a few cases of this down cellar. It's definitely very important to store water. I mean, I'm sure you've all seen what's going on in Mississippi right now. That's just one example of one of the things that can happen and why you really need to have some clean, safe drinking water stored. Not just for the ultimate SHTF scenarios, but also everyday little emergencies that can happen. You want to have water stored inside your house, and it's best to have it stored in various different sizes and forms. These bottles can be grab and go if you need to. It's going to be less expensive to store water in larger things, fit between 50 gallons, 5 gallons, 1 gallons. That's going to be the cheaper way to store it, but having multiple different forms of water is going to be very important. And we do use these little bottles. We try to use refillable bottles when we can, but every once in a while we are grabbing these, so we do rotate through our stock, because you wouldn't be able to store something like this forever. These would eventually spring a leak and things like that. So next I did get a box of garbage bags. This is one place where I really wish I had more stored up. I've got a box like this down cellar. We're working on a box up here, but you want to make sure that you have ways to deal with your trash and your waste in an emergency. This is something that I feel like we do not have enough of, and I'm going to keep trying to get more. But garbage bags are so expensive, honestly, for something that you're literally just buying to throw away. So it really kind of irks me. I have a hard time spending the money, but this was probably the best deal that I could find per bag. And then just a multi-pack of tissues. That goes without saying. You want to have tissues on hand. We're getting into cold and flu season, and then we do have a lot of tissues already, but that's the whole point, is just to keep a good supply so you're not going to run out. Tissues can be interchanged with toilet paper. You can use one for the other and vice versa. So we try to make sure we have plenty of paper products on hand, and this was probably the best deal per box of tissues that I found anywhere. And then we've got some more paper goods and disposable goods. This is mostly all paper. That's 9-ounce cups, and then those are the larger, like solo cups. Now, some of these are from BJ's. I know that the paper cups back there, I find the best deal at Sam's Club, but these were a better deal at BJ's. This Berkeley Jensen is their brand. This is large paper bowls, small paper plates, and medium paper plates. Definitely need to have disposable things like this on hand, whether you use them on an everyday basis or not. We do use these sometimes just to cut down on the amount of dishes that we have to wash, but I'm very conscious of the cost of all of these things, and so I don't use them always, but you definitely want to have this stuff on hand. If you are in an emergency, maybe you don't have power and you can't run your dishwasher, you just might want to have some disposable things to cut down on the amount of dishes you have to do. You're not going to want to be doing dishes in the middle of an emergency. Think about the situation in Mississippi right now. Like I said, they're asking people to shower with their mouths closed, not open your mouth while you're in the shower because of the bacteria that's in the water. Do you really want to be washing your dishes with that? Think of all the different situations where, whether you use these things on a regular basis or not, you might want to have them available. So I try to keep a good supply of these, because if you are using them on a regular basis, they're going to go pretty quickly. And the good thing about all the paper products is that you could burn those if you were using wood to either heat your home or wood to cook with, which might be a very good possibility in an emergency. You could burn these. You wouldn't have the waste to throw away. And then I got a bunch of seasonings. Sam's Club can be a great place to buy seasonings. You definitely want to have plenty of seasonings on hand to season the food, so you don't get sick of eating the same thing over and over again. That's why I got this curry powder, for instance. I was looking for the cheapest source for curry powder because this is a great one to have. This is great with lentils. You can make curry lentils. Lentils are a great thing to have in your food storage, but you're not going to want to just boil them up and cook them and eat them plain. That's not going to be very appealing. So you need to have ways to season these things. Don't just put foods in your prepper pantry because you hear they're good for food storage. Beans and rice and lentils and all of these things, wheat. You need to have ways to prepare them into something that you're going to want to eat and you're going to be happy eating, that can sustain you. So curry powder, this was the best deal that I found on curry powder because I have been looking for a bulk package of curry powder. Now, I have looked for curry at Dollar Tree. I have never seen curry powder at any Dollar Tree that I've ever shopped at. So let me know. This Montreal steak seasoning, we like this. We really like the packets that you mix up the marinade with. But I'm pretty sure I can just take what's in this jar and mix it up the same way that I would the marinade packets. And this is going to be a lot cheaper. And then we can also use it just for seasoning burgers and meat and things. We really like this rosemary garlic tones seasoning, and I tend to get a lot of my seasonings in these bulk packages, either from the warehouse clubs or Amazon. A lot of the times I can find bulk packages even bigger than this. Sometimes you can get it in jugs, and I look for that a lot. But this one, the best deal that I have found is this small shaker bottle at Sam's Club. That's the best deal I found on that, and I have looked all around. So got another grinder of the pink Himalayan salt. We had one, it was huge. I got it at Christmas tree shops years ago, and we just now are emptying it out. I don't think it's refillable, so I just got another one of these. This will last us quite a long time. That's just what we use seasoning our food. This just looked good. They had a lot of seasonings on clearance at Sam's, so we did pick up a few things just because they looked good. Try something different. This wood-fired garlic seasoning looked like something that Mr. Wicked Prepared would use on the grill. And there's another seasoning we grabbed, and I know we grabbed it, I remember, and I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if it's under a seat in my van. It was a maple bacon type of seasoning. It sounded very good, and I have not laid eyes on it since we got home. But then this was just something I saw that was new. It caught my eye in the app, and so I looked for it in the store. It's a spread, just a Cinnamon Toast Crunch spread, kind of like peanut butter, but it's cinnamon flavored. I thought the kids would really like this. So we're just going to try one of these. And let's see, it's good until July of 2023, so almost a year. If the kids like this, we'll probably buy some more because I don't know if it will always be available. And having things like this that you can just easily spread on some toast, but you can also spread on some crackers or dip some pretzels in it. That's a good way to make things like that a little less boring. And then this is a large jar of coconut oil. Coconut oil is a good thing to have in your prepper pantry. It's a little bit healthier oil and fat that you can use for cooking. You can also use this for skincare, and you can use this for, salves and stuff for your skin, for injuries. So this is a great thing to have. And this was a really good price on this at Sam's Club. So I grabbed one of those. Now this squeezy garlic I have showed you before. I use this a lot. And I recently discovered that it doesn't need to be refrigerated until opened. I usually buy it at BJ's, and it's pretty inexpensive. I think it's right around $4. Maybe, and it's a big huge thing of garlic, and it's just so easy to open it up and just squeeze a bunch into whatever you're cooking. And I recently noticed that it said refrigerate after opening because it's sold in the refrigerated section at BJ's, so I always assumed I had to put it in my refrigerator when I got home. But now knowing that I don't, I've stocked up on some extra. And this one here is something, I think it's new. It's by the same company. They have garlic and ginger that I use all the time. The ginger, it's like just like using fresh ginger, but it's a lot easier than having to peel the ginger and chop the ginger, grate the ginger, whatever you would do. And then I always have leftover, and I know I've seen them say, oh, chop it up and put it in little tablespoon amounts and freeze it, and you can use it later. But honestly, I always lose track of things like that in my freezer. I will do that with the best of intentions, and I never see it again. It gets lost in the freezer. It does not get used. It's a great idea, but I buy the squeezy stuff. I decided to try the onion because I love the garlic and ginger, so I thought I would give this one a try. I honestly don't think I'm going to be using this very often. I tend to use my freeze-dried onion, and that is just super easy and super good. And then the good thing about the freeze-dried is that it does not need to be refrigerated after opening. It's perfectly fine to just sit on my shelf. So I don't know if this will be something I'll stick with, but I did want to give it a try when I saw it because I've never seen it before. And then behind these, we got 3 of these bags of bacon bits. These are big bags. These are 20-ounce bags, so they're really big. And it's really good bacon for salads and for recipes and things like that. I use a lot of this. Now, these are going to be good until April of 2020, April of next year. So they're going to be good for quite a while. And I'm sure, like anything else, these would stay good a lot longer than that. And so I try to buy these ahead because I used to get this size of bacon at BJ's, and it was about $10, and our BJ's no longer carries it. I haven't seen it at any BJ's around us. So this was actually cheaper. This was $9 for this big bag. So I grabbed 3. I'm sure we'll go through these before they would go bad. The only thing to keep an eye on, and I think that's why it has this clear window here, because I did have a bag from BJ's once, and it was nowhere near its expiration date. It wasn't old at all. I had opened it up and I had sprinkled a little on some salads for us one evening, and the next day I opened it up again, and I happened to look in the bag, and I thought I saw a dead mouse in the bag. I freaked out, but what it ended up being was a big clump of bacon that was stuck together and molded with gray mold. It looked like a furry mouse. I couldn't believe it because I'd already taken bacon out of it the night before, but the light was dim and I just didn't look in the bag. And I think what it must have happened is that the bag must have become compromised, punctured somehow, that allowed air in. So as long as they stay airtight, they're going to stay good. But you do need to keep an eye on that and make sure that wherever you're storing them, they can't become punctured. Make sure that they're not punctured when you buy them at the store. You might not see the puncture, but if they're not holding the air inside, then you would know that they've probably been somehow compromised. This was another thing. This was on clearance at Sam's Club. Now, I tried this recently. This is truffle hot sauce. And my daughter, my oldest daughter, she has her own place, but she was in between places and she had left a bottle of this in our fridge. And so I tried it, and it's actually really good. So I looked it up to buy some of my own, and it's actually also very expensive. So I was excited to find this 2-pack on clearance at Sam's Club. It's not going, I mean, it lasts forever. You just use a little bit. So I'll probably never have to buy that again the rest of my life. And then cocoa powder. This is just something that we use in our baking and our cooking, and we're getting kind of low on that, so I need to make sure that we have plenty of that. So I did grab one of these. I probably should have grabbed an extra, so maybe the next time we go. These Korean BBQ almonds, this is a really big bag. I love these Blue Diamond, like different flavored almonds. I love the salt and vinegar ones and the Chipotle barbecue ones. It's kind of for me like my lower carb, healthier version of having chips because they were crunchy, but they've got those seasonings on them like chips have. I'd never seen this flavor before, and so I grabbed it. And this bag didn't even make it home. I had to open it and try it on the way home. But I will probably put up the rest of these in a mason jar, seal some in a mason jar, maybe put some in some individual serving size packs just to have right now. Nuts are a great thing to have in the prepper pantry. They've got a lot of fat and concentrated calories that could be important in an emergency to have that. And they're also super healthy for you. They have the good kind of fats that your body really needs that are very healthy for you. And so nuts are a great thing to have. You do have to watch storing them. They can't store as long as some things because of the oils. They can go rancid, but I've had nuts for quite a while past their expiration date that have not gone rancid. If you have room in your freezer, storing them in your freezer is a way to store them longer. I never have room in my freezer, but... And then this is something that's not really so much a prepping item because I don't consider my freezer part of my preps at all. You can't count on having the things in your freezer because you could lose it all if the power goes out. But this was just a way to illustrate how having a food stockpile can also help save you money. There's other reasons to have a well-stocked pantry and a food stockpile to whatever size you're comfortable with because it can save you money. Now, these breakfast sandwiches were marked down on sale, so they were less than $1 per sandwich, which is the cheapest price I can get them anywhere. Walmart raised their price on their great value ones. I can't get them for that price anymore, so I stopped buying them. Now, could I make breakfast sandwiches from scratch for under $1 a sandwich? Maybe. Maybe not. It's been a while since I did the math, but eggs are getting more expensive. Sausage got more expensive, the sausage patties. But sometimes it's about the convenience. Like the convenience is worth paying that price to just have something that the kids can grab and just warm up before they head out the door for school. So we actually bought 4 boxes of these. I only have 2 here because we had to get them right in the freezer when we got home, and we had to get kind of creative to get them in the freezer because we usually don't have a lot of freezer space. So I had to open up some of the boxes and just stash the sandwiches in wherever they would fit. But this is a way that you can save money by stocking up on things when they're on sale. This will last us for a few months, probably, these 4 boxes of sandwiches. At least I hope that they will. And it's going to save us some money over buying them at a more expensive price. And then this is just a big 2-pack of parchment paper. I use a lot of parchment paper in baking, mostly to line pans and stuff like that. I used to use nonstick tin foil a lot, aluminum foil. And there's a lot of questions about how healthy it actually is, if it might be harmful for you to cook with the aluminum like that. So I've cut down a lot on that. And I use parchment a lot more. You can put parchment under your cookies or under, you know, something you're baking for the kids, chicken nuggets, tater tots. You can put this under fish and meat and things like that that you might be baking. So I go through quite a bit of parchment paper actually, and I got a really good clearance deal several years ago from Walmart, and I haven't had to buy it in forever, but I'm getting low on that. So I thought I would grab this. I did check the prices, and this seemed like the best price that I could get, you know, per square foot of parchment paper right now. And then the final thing that I got was this box of Scooby snacks in the bags. Now, I am trying to keep a good amount of snack foods on hand because I've always heard that over and over from people who've been through an emergency where they had to eat out of their pantry. They always say they wish they had more snack foods. We keep quite a few snack foods on hand. You can't store snack foods for a super long time because they tend to not stay good as long as some other foods. Things like granola bars, crackers, cookies, they'll either get stale or they'll get rancid. But usually about 6 months, you could have 6 months worth of snacks on hand. So that's what I'm trying to do. Plus with school just starting up, this is going to be a great thing for the kids to take to school, especially my youngest daughter. She loves Nutella, and she will sit there with a tub of Nutella and, you know, some graham crackers and a knife and just have a snack. And I got her these little individual tubs of Nutella that she can pack when she packs a lunch or a snack. And so I like to have things like this for her to dip in the Nutella to take along with her. things like these, or little bags of pretzels and things like that. So this was the best deal. I've shopped around for these. I sometimes get them at Walmart because, like I said, I can't always get to Sam's Club, but this was a good deal. So I did get this box, and now thinking about how I don't get to Sam's Club very often, I kind of wish I'd gotten 2 boxes because this probably won't last us that long. All right, guys, that's everything that we grabbed at the warehouse clubs for our prepper pantry this week. If you like this video and you like stockpiles and haul videos, make sure you give this one a big thumbs up. And let us know down in the comments, what kind of videos do you want to see more of? I do have a couple more hauls coming up. One really big haul with all sorts of awesome stuff from all over. And then I'm going to be doing a haul where everything was absolutely free. I'm going to show you how I did that and how you can do it too. We've also got videos coming up on hurricane preparedness and all sorts of things like that. So make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss anything we've got coming up. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave me a blue heart emoji down in the comments. I'm Jara with Wicked Prepared. Survive today, thrive tomorrow. We'll see you next time.